This one was like, oh, okay, that's a cool stunt and that's cool stuff. Oh, that's a good fight. Oh, they did the thing. I like that. And the stuff with the wife was another one. You mother, I will. Oh no, we're good.
We're good?
Okay. What? Oh, we're good. Yeah, I mean it's a perfectly cromulent mission. Is how what I would say.
Mission did it. Thank you for joining us on our next installment of Missions Probable, like Cult Pop podcast live stream extravaganza event of epic proportions that can't be rivaled by any other franchise in the history of film and audience capture of our United States and worldwide global. Okay,
keep going.
Tonight we're going to talk about ad nauseum, Mission Impossible, Impossible dash Ghost Protocol, which is the fourth installment in the film series. Came out in 2011, written by Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec, directed by Brad Bird. We'll get to it. Brad Bird, starring Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Simon Pegg, and Ving Rhames for a scene.
Loved it.
So, real quick, I put on Wayne's World last night just to get the.
That's where I
don't own a gun,
let alone multiple guns to facilitate a gun rack.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, go. Can I do this part?
Synopsis, go.
Blamed for a terrorist attack on the Kremlin, Ethan Hunt and the entire IMF agency are disavowed by the U.S. government again, while the president initiates the Ghost Protocol. Forced to go off the grid, left without resources or backup, Hunt must somehow clear the agency's name and prevent another attack. Complicating matters even more, Ethan must undertake the impossible mission with a group of fellow IMF fugitives whose actual motives are suspect.
That's right. They are suspect. So,
thanks.
This is a very well-received fourth installment of a franchise. It was released twice.
What?
December 16th, 2011, and then a week later, December 21st, 2011. It was released exclusively in IMAX cinemas for 1 week before a wide release.
I see.
And we will get to why later. Despite Mission Impossible 3 earning less than other Mission Impossible movies,
Which is stupid.
at the box office, its critical response was much better than its predecessors, like exponentially much better. So Paramount was down to continue the film series with that goodwill.
Yeah.
Development began in earnest in August 2009. I think part 3 came out in 2008, something like that. Yeah. Under the partnership of Bad Robot now, which was J.J. Abrams, and Skydance, Tom Cruise. So now J.J. Abrams is a part of all things Mission Impossible and will going forward. Development started with him set to direct. He brought on writers Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec, who were hired to develop the story at that time. They were only responsible for Alias at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They are not. This was their first feature credits.
Did you finish your watch through?
Yeah.
Of Alias?
Yeah.
Does it hold up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of weak spots of like again, but other than that, yeah, it holds up.
I really want to rewatch that.
Due to commitments during development, though, J.J. Abrams had to drop out of directing, and those developments are. Over the course of 2009 and 2011, when this movie actually came out, J.J. Abrams was responsible for Lost, Fringe, the first Star Trek movie, and Super 8.
Hold up.
All those things happened in these 4 years.
Who's the lead character of Fringe?
Joshua Jackson.
The woman.
Olivia. Yeah. Olivia is her name. Anna Torv.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Why?
I was thinking Carrie Coon for some reason.
That's absolutely not.
I don't know,
You are an idiot for thinking so because they are two totally different people.
Maybe I'm right. Hey, Carls. He says hi. Continue.
Love that you being proven wrong. Maybe I'm right.
So at this
Maybe
point,
I did put my phone on silent. Maybe I'm right.
Shots fired.
eat your fucking apple. You're fine. think. Sklurts. Anyway,
sorry.
So hired to direct is celebrated director Brad Bird.
Bird
making his first live action feature. and he's only made one other since. Now, if you're not familiar with Brad Bird, he is responsible for writing and directing The Iron Giant.
Right? I was right.
I was holding for applause. The Incredibles.
Uh-huh.
Also that for the Iron Giant.
And probably more popular than both of those combined, Ratatouille.
Ah.
Is it really? Wait.
No, it's not.
Oh. I don't have my thumb on the pulse of anything. So I wasn't sure if maybe Ratatouille was the most popular, but yeah. Okay.
No, this was
Iron Giant's
I had to leave the theater.
Ratatouille?
No, yeah. I was crying so hard during Ratatouille.
when he ate that food and saw his past, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Oh my God.
Superman. Also, Ving Rhames' greatest role.
Mm-hmm.
As the titular giant.
The titular young man, Hogarth.
Oh, that's what a name. Yeah, Hogarth.
Let's watch that.
You know what? Yeah, just put it on. Hey, Dylan, can you just pull it up on the
Guys, I just cried.
big screen?
Can you put it on the extra screen and I'll just keep going while we weep to
I just
Iron
cried
Giant?
already.
Anyone who hasn't seen Iron Giant, just do yourself a favor and watch it.
I can't believe they haven't remade it. Also, thank God they haven't remade it.
It's pretty evergreen, pretty timeless too. Yeah. Anyway,
so are most of the remakes. I mean, the things that they've remade.
In addition to returning cast, which at this point is
Tom Cruise,
only Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames for Austin.
They cast Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Josh Holloway, and Leah Sado joined the production. Principal photography took place October 2010 to March 19th, 2011, and then came out the subsequent December.
Twice.
They went big. Budapest, they shot on location. Budapest, Mumbai, Prague, Moscow, Vancouver, Bangalore, Chennai, and Dubai. Only 2 things were done on sets in London.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically the train, when they were inside the train,
Mm-hmm.
and they built that 6-story car park from scratch in studio.
No way.
Yeah, like it's an actual building, but they just recreated it completely in studio. Other than that, this movie is almost exclusively on location, which is really impressive.
Where in the United States are those places?
Mostly in Montana.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, mostly Montana.
Mumbai, Montana.
So the film was partially shot with IMAX cameras. This was still very new at the time, which made up for approximately 30 minutes of the runtime. Bird insisted that certain scenes be shot in IMAX as opposed to 3D, which was super popular at the time too. Like every movie was 3D
I
or
remember that time.
post-converted in 3D, whether it was supposed to be or not, looked like shit.
Yes.
So he fought for IMAX over 3D for greater viewer immersion. He had a good quote at the time. This is Brad Bird talking. Someone do my Brad Bird voice. I don't know if you guys have heard Brad Bird talk, but
I'm about to.
This is a dead set impression. I've been practicing it. When we first shot looking at
It's like he's here.
Where did Noel go?
I'm gonna get broken out of character. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay.
I gotta recapture it.
Reset.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
When we were first looking at the image of Tom climbing the Burj in long shots, we could not only see the traffic and the reflections when he presses down on the glass, but you can actually see the glass warp slightly because of the pressure of his hand. You would never see that on 35 millimeter or 3D. The fact that the screen fills your vision and is super sharp seems more lifelike. So I want to take a diversion, and this
Can you drop the Brad Bird now? It's getting annoying.
Oh, sorry. I want to divert for a second, and this is inspired by Pink. Last time when we were talking about cameras, I want to talk really quickly about IMAX cameras.
Okay,
let's do it.
I don't know anything about them.
So
they're big.
IMAX was developed, blah 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 blah, really big, great. I want to talk about more specifically how they started incorporating it into entertainment, because it was just a gimmick for a little while, like only at museums or large enough screens.
Right.
And the films themselves were only like 15 to 30 minutes long tops, because the camera is so big and so loud. You can't record dialogue very well because it's louder than that. You can't move it around anywhere. No, you fools. It is a massive thing. So it would be too cost prohibitive to do it or for a normal production. So the earliest attempts at presenting mainstream entertainment in IMAX was formats like live concerts. So like Rolling Stones Live at the Max, or educational stuff like T-Rex Back to Cretaceous or Haunted Castle. And there were only like 30 or 40 IMAX cinemas in the like real IMAX theaters. So it was cost prohibitive to even bother for studios to have IMAX films, or at least true IMAX films.
So I'm sorry, just real quick. Oh, you didn't grow up here. We had like this
No, it's the Franklin.
Franklin Institute.
Yeah, that's a real IMAX.
Right. And it's like,
Yeah.
actually like, is it a full dome?
It's a quarter dome.
Quarter dome. Because I remember going to that at one point and then being excited, like, oh, they're going to make movies this way.
Mhm.
And then I went to go see the movies and I was like, this ain't that.
Where
No.
did you go see Oppenheimer with Costa? Did you go to
Warrington. We went to
Okay.
Warrington.
was that an IMAX?
That's a gorgeous theater.
It's an IMAX theater. It's not an IMAX camera
Got it. Okay.
or projector.
Projector. Okay.
There's the only IMAX projector in this state is King of Prussia,
Okay.
Yeah.
and the nearest one after that is Times Square, New York, or like in New York.
Yeah. Okay.
KOP's pretty good, yeah.
KOP
Yeah,
is
been there.
Gorgeous.
it's honestly that entire theater can fall apart. They will still put money into that IMAX
Mm.
because the building was built around it. The projector is so big you can't take it
Wow.
out.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. Continue.
But anyway, the first in 2000, Disney was the first studio to produce a full-length animated feature in IMAX format, exclusively in IMAX format, and that was Fantasia 2000.
Oh.
It did get released in other theaters, but
Oh, I didn't know that
It
that
was-
was an
yeah.
IMAX, John.
there were so few IMAX
Yeah.
theaters that it was just kind of like a novelty than
Yeah.
it was an actual moneymaker. It wasn't until I want to say 2008-ish with The Dark Knight, where
Yeah, I was about to say that. The
Mm.
whoop, and
up
then the
until
whoop.
then, movies were reformatted into the IMAX display. That was called DMR, Digital Media Remastering. So what they would do is they would just take the matte format or the matte framing
Mhm.
and just blow it up.
Yeah.
Or the wide framing and just blow it up. So you'd see a large presentation, but it wasn't IMAX. It's
Mhm.
not IMAX. When you film in IMAX, it's completely different and it's just crazy. I've got the dimensions later.
Ooh.
Um,
About
Hmm.
it. Crazy. I had no idea.
So Nolan, Christopher Nolan, being the freak that he is about
Yeah.
formats, was very adamant about incorporating true IMAX into filming. His whole thing, there's a quote, I lost it. There's a quote he has of like, if you could take an IMAX camera into space to do a little movie, there's no reason why we can't take it on a production. So he would, because they were doing those like those
Oh, I
movies in
understand.
museums
It's like
of
space
like
is
actual.
so big, though.
They were doing those
There's plenty of
movies.
room for an IMAX camera in space.
Yeah, you'd have those.
Obviously.
You have those shuttle movies or those
So much
like
room for activity.
submarine movies and stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
if you can pull that shit off,
Yeah.
we can pull it off over here. It's just going
Mhm.
to take a little extra work.
Some finagling.
So, probably the biggest, most popular release up until that point was The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
which only had about 22 to 25 minutes of IMAX footage.
Was it Japan
Interesting.
scene or something?
It was the Japan scene, the opening scene, and the car chase in
Ah,
Chicago,
yeah.
lower and upper Wabash.
What a good movie.
So that was basically the gold standard of we could pull this shit off.
Yeah.
It was very, very hard to do. Also, it required switching formats, which people were afraid to do.
Mhm.
So if you're watching a movie in true IMAX, it is 1.38, which is basically this.
Yeah.
When you're watching a movie on TV or on television, it's this.
Mhm.
It's a letterbox versus a wide frame. So for the stuff that's true IMAX, the screen would just like slowly get bigger and wider and you'd
Mhm.
be immersed, which was the entirety of Oppenheimer. The
Mhm.
first full, wait, no, is it? But
Go
it's the first true IMAX movie. And so they would just switch in aspect ratios. So this is one of the movies where they pulled that off, where they were able to exclusively do it in IMAX theaters in 138 for the sequences, specifically the Burj.
Apparently it was Tiger Child.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I have that on here too. I skipped it
Yeah.
because it's like a 30-minute short film. I'm talking about Hollywood
I
productions.
understand that. Yeah.
So we have some really cool stuff in here about the aspect ratios, use in productions. Although Fantasia, while unveiling the DMR process, Warner Brothers the DMR process, which is the digital bigger and smaller, Warner Brothers especially embraced the format beginning in 2003 with the 2 Matrix sequels. That was just blowing them up.
Oh, okay.
Prisoner of Azkaban in 2004, just blowing it up.
Oh, yes.
Robert Zemeckis motion capture in IMAX 3D, Polar Express, just blowing it up. It wasn't until 2009 Star Trek by J.J. Abrams, blowing it up. It wasn't until 2008 that they did that. But they also started playing with post conversion. So James Cameron's Titanic was restored and re-released in theaters, where they specifically made an open matte version for IMAX. So they took the widescreen movie, took the original master of the open matte, because when you're filming it, like, you know, the camera just kind of frames this, but the film is recording open matte. Yeah. They took that and kind of made a new version for full IMAX screens, which was really cool.
That is really cool.
But in 2011 was around the time that we can pull this off. And it was in 2015 when it got real big, when Marvel Studios announced that its next 2 Avengers films, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, would be filmed entirely in IMAX. But what makes it different than Oppenheimer is because it was filmed with the Ares Alexa 65 digital cameras, which is a digital IMAX camera. What Nolan was obsessed with was actually IMAX film.
IMAX film.
So it is those loud as hell cameras. Most of his movies that are done in IMAX, they have to do like ADR later because you can't get like all the audio in camera and stuff.
So my question about all of this IMAX stuff is really just for the theater experience. Yes. Like there's nothing like if I buy a DVD, a Blu-ray or whatever, or watch it streaming.
Yes and no.
Go on.
Some streaming services and Blu-rays and DVDs now will include the shifting aspect ratio for your television.
Yeah.
Some don't. Some just, so like 2-3 years ago, Disney Plus started giving you the IMAX mode for a lot of their Marvel and Disney movie, or a lot of their Marvel and Star Wars movies, which is that up conversion for certain sequences that are shot in IMAX.
Oh, I see.
It'll, like when you're
it'll
watching,
actually do the,
it'll actually move or be bigger.
Yeah.
Some movies like this one will never change, like on streaming, on disc, they have never released an IMAX mode version of it that shows the full frame. So when you guys were watching it on streaming and you see him step over the ledge out the window, that's an IMAX scene that took the whole frame, and you saw like the cars moving on the street.
I bet that's awesome.
And it was, I did see it in theaters in IMAX, and I was physically sick.
I was going to say that would have made me throw up.
Because I sat close too, which was wrong.
Oh,
but
no.
It was having vertigo in real time. It was actually really
That's
wild.
fun.
It was actually,
yeah.
It was like roller coaster cool. But I thought that was really dope. The idea of this movie and this series, this franchise, keeps kind of trying to push technology forward. And this is a very big, even though 3 years prior, The Dark Knight successfully did it, they marketed this for exclusively for 1 week, having only IMAX screens, and it made $15 to $20 million on just that week in only IMAX screens, because it was such a big deal, like showing the studios that it was viably possible, which was really cool.
Oh, fun.
In the middle of production, we're going to go back to production now. In the middle of production, Cruise brought his own screenwriter in to change things around. The screenwriter...
did he want to jump off of more buildings and they wouldn't let him?
Screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie, also colloquially known as McQ, was brought in to rewrite the screenplay. Anyone that's not familiar with Christopher McQuarrie, he is responsible for writing The Usual Suspects, Valkyrie, Jack Reacher, Edge of Tomorrow, and from here on ends up writing and directing every other Mission Impossible movie.
No kidding.
Yeah, so he's done 5. He's the only director that's done more than one Mission Impossible movie, and it's 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also wrote Top Gun Maverick, The Mummy, which was terrible.
I haven't seen it.
The Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yeah.
The
terrible.
Tom Cruise Mummy.
Have
I
you
was
seen
like, I thought you meant the Brent. I was like very upset.
Has anyone here seen the Tom Cruise Mummy?
I went to the theater, but I don't remember most of it.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like so mid.
I find
bad,
Tom
it's not
Cruise
good. It's just mid.
to be such a charming star that I wonder if is it just at least that good because he's in it? Is at least that much good because he's doing that much.
There's some cool sequences in it.
Yeah.
Also, his best friend in the movie is Jake Johnson, who has all the jokes and is pretty funny.
You
Jake
love
Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
New
Nick
girl.
Miller.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
The GIF king.
Yeah.
I have had full conversations, just back and forth GIFs of Nick Miller and New Girl.
Most of my brother and I's.
Nick
Miller.
So that's production. Other than that, it went off pretty much without a hitch. The idea of so they restructured the story while in play, but it's kind of normal for a Mission Impossible movie. Like we've got these big stunts. Let's just stitch together a story around it. Yeah. Apparently, McQuarrie, who's uncredited, but officially did work on it.
Rude.
Arbitration. His whole thing was, it's too complicated. The mystery's too complicated. Make this simple. It's just a terrorist. Stop it.
No.
Yeah. Stop it with the double crossing. It's just bad man blows things up. Stop him.
Give me a real quick rundown. How many Mission Impossibles are there where the IMF...
Impossible Missions Force, for those that don't know.
Sorry, my bad.
I had to explain that to Costa while we were watching.
Guys, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my Costa. It was pretty good.
That was really good. Nailed it.
Are disbanded, framed, and on the run, and having to work with nothing. I feel like that's every movie.
Part one. Mm-hmm. 2, they're on the level.
Okay.
3, half the movie he's on the run.
Yeah.
So we'll count that. 4, yes, Ghost Protocol. It's the thing. Rogue Nation, they're on the level.
Okay.
6, without spoiling anything, they're on the level, but there are, in 5 and 6, there are threats to disband the IMF.
Sure.
And they have to work against that pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not you're all disavowed, you crazy fucks.
You almost disavowed, you crazy fucks. Don't you make me disavow you.
7.
I'll turn this disavow around.
Yeah. I'll turn this IMF around.
I'll turn this clandestine government organization around if you don't shut up.
I'm not touching you.
7, 8, to be determined. 7-ish.
Well, don't
Ethan.
spoil it.
Ethan is always a rogue, whether he's in bounds or out of bounds.
He's roguish.
He's always a rogue.
Yeah.
He's always
either
a
rogue
cad.
or roguish. Yeah.
Roguish nation.
The silly, goofy guy.
So, other things that make this film series. Any questions thus far? I feel like I've only been talking.
Oh no, I'm in. It's great.
No, I'm super in. I was very intrigued with the IMAX talk. I had no idea.
I think I botched it. It's so awesome. Like all the technology that goes into these movies is so dope.
Yeah.
I think these movies are also most known for, especially post 3, is the stunts.
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk about.
The stunt work. So chief amongst the stunts in this movie is obviously the IMAX sequence, the scaling of the Burj Khalifa building in Dubai, which is still the world's tallest structure at 829.8 meters high. That is a half mile. That is a half mile in the sky.
It is 5 feet bigger than the Wiz Khalifa building. Yeah.
Just 5 though, and that's just the antenna at the top. They put a little. You know what they did? There's a Wiz Khalifa bobblehead at the very top of the last spire, just like in the wind.
Yeah, it may not be the tallest, but it's the highest.
Bam! Dylan brings it home.
Fade to black.
Yeah,
we're out. So of course, Tom Cruise did it himself.
He built it.
Yeah, he did it himself.
He built it to climb it.
Yeah, and then jump off.
There are some pretty good videos online of him like practicing and like a lot of the exterior. There's a very famous picture online. I don't know if I forgot to pull it up. Dylan, I don't know if you can find it, of him without his shoes and out of harness, sitting at the top of the spire of this building.
Why?
Just fucking chilling. Because before filming, he was up with Tom Cruise is a maniac.
Oh, that's it. That's the answer.
Like, yeah,
okay.
that's the short answer.
Sorry. Yeah.
But he is so hands-on as a producer. He was just like, they were just filming exterior shots. There it is. The second row. Go down. There it is on the far left.
Oh my God.
Well, there he is.
No,
down,
far left.
Down and left.
One down. There
That's
it is.
The one.
That's
roguish as fuck.
That is him. So they were in a helicopter, scouting shots and doing some like plate shots for wide shots for the whole sequence.
What a piece of shit.
And as the conversation went, he was just like, let's go down there.
Yeah.
Let me just go down there and take a picture. That's it.
Okay.
It was that simple. He's a weirdo. Which is great.
oh
I
God,
would be vomiting out of my toes.
There's
would
a
just
really
be
great.
leaking.
There's also a picture of a couple years ago. Will Smith did the same thing. He also like was put at the top of it and climbed to the top of it and took a picture. I saw somebody put them side to side, and it's just like Tom Cruise without shoes and a t-shirt, like sup.
Yeah.
And Will Smith in like full gear, harnesses, helmet,
Yeah.
a flak suit, just like smiling and holding on. And like, I don't know if this was the effect you
Act
wanted,
natural.
champ. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh my
His
God.
face.
Just like holding on for dear life.
Bravely climbs the tallest building.
That's all. Well, he climbed it though.
I just thought it was funny. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't do it.
No, no.
But seeing the two pictures side to side was actually
It's
pretty
pretty
funny. But yeah, he
That's cute. I like that.
yeah, because Tom Cruise just is
A
Tom
maniac.
Cruise.
Yeah.
So they filmed that whole sequence in multiple segments of him climbing it, scaling it, and doing like a free loop, running across it, and then rappelling down, but forward. What's it called when you rappel forward just with your hand? It's rappelling, but he's doing it forward and like stopping himself in the front.
That's not belaying.
No, belaying is
Belaying
going
No,
up.
I was thinking belay. I don't know.
Either way, it's like
I boulder.
It's
No harness or anything, but very low.
badass. Yeah, he did that because he's crazy. Other action sequences had their fair share of stunt work though, that the actor was eager to jump into, such as the automated 6-story car park, which was constructed from scratch on a soundstage and was fully functional.
Wow.
So those were cars, and that was actually all moving and stuff. I loved that sequence.
Yeah.
That sequence was so cool.
Not to yuck anyone's yum, international phallic competition, yum. But those tallest building records are mostly crap. They just take turns installing meaningless wire spires. That is correct.
I'm not sure the Wiz Khalifa bobblehead is meaningless, but maybe to you.
I actually did Pink. To your point, though, I did look it up, and I think the roof is like 820 something, so it still is the highest structure. It was just like inches as they kept going with other ones. No matter what, it was still ridiculous.
I would throw up. Don't like it.
I understand that like the stunt is very cool. It's not what I remember about them. Like that scene, it's all the drama that's happening inside the hotel.
Yes.
That's the stuff that really captures my imagination and really get my agita pumping, you know?
Yeah.
Him being out doing the Spider-Man on the outside and whoop, my hand doesn't work anymore. Like that's fine. It's good. I understand. I'm wondering like how much of that is real, how much of it isn't real.
That was
but
stressing me out because I know he does it. I was like,
yeah.
I think that's also part of it too. Like, you know, he's doing it with
Sort
harnesses
of,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it adds some like,
Yeah.
like knowing. So the shot that they were talking about before of him, like it's like on some of the covers of the poster of him having the one hand forward and it's nothing but the ground underneath him.
Yeah.
There's a small harness while he's actually climbing and just posing there. But yeah, like him pressing his hand against the glass, that's completely real and very creepy.
Yeah.
No green screen. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Especially that, like, I think the only thing they green screened was that last jump when he has to jump into the window. But other than that, no, he's actually running and everything is, he just stopped.
Also, he broke his ankle in that one, right?
Nope.
No. Oh, what?
His ankle's coming up.
Oh.
In another movie.
Oh.
In part 6.
Okay.
He broke his ankle in part 6.
oh my God.
Yeah, he's a maniac.
Is this the Mission Impossible equivalent of in Lord of the Rings telling everybody that Viggo Mortensen broke his toe when he kicks the
I am that
helmet?
annoying.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to it, I will actually
what
show you
happened?
exactly where.
Viggo Mortensen broke his toe. I think it's in Two Towers.
It is when he kicks the helmet.
He kicks the helmet and he lets out like an anguished scream and it's an emotional scene, but it's actually a shot because he broke his toe.
My favorite one.
It's like a meme when it's like
yeah, it's a real helmet. He wasn't supposed to kick it, but he was like prop.
yeah,
Bonk.
it was a real metal helmet. He broke
Basically
his toe.
kicking a bowling ball.
One of my favorites is Django Unchained with
Blood.
The glass.
Leo.
Leonardo DiCaprio
That guy.
smashing smashing his cup and then
Just
blood
free bleeding everywhere.
keep going. I love that. Go on.
Blood.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, that was production. Other like stunt work, everything went up. It went off without major hitches to cause any like concern.
Your little hitch though.
I mean,
Well, Will Smith
the
was there.
normal, yeah.
It was good. It was
Will
a deep
Smith.
cut.
Will Smith. Oh!
He just got the hitch
I was
reference.
gonna make its comment about him like slapping crew here and there, but no, that's even
the
better.
hitch.
It was
You
a
go,
hitch.
you go 90%. Let them go 10. Kevin James, where you been? Away. Yeah, no, mostly without a hitch. Like the trouble production of the first one the weirdness of the second one. This one was actually smooth comparatively.
Yeah.
Also, too, as we kept going, especially with 6 and 7, nothing is smooth about those productions for the most part, and they get extended because of the pandemic, because of injuries. Because this is probably the last smooth Mission Impossible production.
Oh,
Bam.
I'm intrigued to see.
But they're all bangers. It's fine. So let's talk really quickly. Any quick questions or comments about what
Production?
Yeah, just production.
No.
Okay.
No.
So yeah,
I enjoyed it very much.
box office. Box office. So this movie made $209.4 million
That's more than I make.
domestically.
Oh, never mind.
$485.3 million in other countries, totaling $694.7 million. It is the second highest grossing film worldwide.
What?
Of the Mission Impossible series.
Oh, okay.
Thus far.
Okay.
Up until this point, it was the highest grossing Mission Impossible. And it was the 5th highest grossing film of 2011. Home video was released on DVD, Blu-ray, April 17th, 2012. A full 4 months later, it was in theaters for most of that time, and it didn't come out in video until April, which is so weird now because it's 20 days usually.
Yep.
However,
I love that.
I
love those
missed that
days.
too. It was like such
Let
a...
us wait for a thing to come out.
And it was
man.
such a big event when it's like, oh my God, it's coming out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I love
Yeah.
that stuff. Wicked just did it successfully. They only just came on stream. They only just were on streaming this past weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good for
Like,
you,
they
Wicked.
extended it. Like,
Wonderful.
Whatever. Secondary markets are a big deal. However, the disc release did not preserve the IMAX imagery and aspect ratio. Prior Blu-ray disc releases featuring such like The Dark Knight and Tron Legacy, which was also shot partially in IMAX, switched on their disc releases from 2.4 to 178 for sequences. But Mission Impossible decided not to. They just reframed the scene. I went back and because I've seen the movie so many times, I was like, did it? And I didn't know. Maybe they went back and did it. Still in streaming, it is 1 aspect ratio, and they have yet to release any physical or anything version that has the widescreen, which sucks.
How many times have you seen this Mission Impossible? 4. Ghost Protocol.
Twice in theaters. Over the years, maybe 4 other times.
Which have you seen the most?
Probably 3, maybe 2.
Okay.
I've
Three's
seen
the best one.
I've seen part 6 a lot.
I don't remember.
think-
Which one's that?
I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. Part 6. I've seen part 6 maybe as many times as I've seen 3.
6 and 3?
I think 6 and 3 are the best
Wow.
ones, but I won't
All
say
right.
which one is my
Okay,
favorite of the two. Yeah, 6 is the one with mustachioed Superman.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was a damn
That was a
movie.
good one.
That was a damn
That was a
movie.
good one.
I can't wait to talk about that one.
I also have watched that GIF so many times.
There's a movie attached to it. I don't know if you knew that.
Wait, what?
There's
the GIF?
There's a movie attached to that GIF. The GIF is
It's a GIF that keeps giving.
it's in a larger movie.
Wow.
Yeah, a whole
Neat.
movie called Mission Impossible Fallout. Anyway, so some quick critical responses. This movie was very praised, very happy. Everyone loved it.
Sorry, my critical response
notes.
was going to be, you're doing great. I thought we were supposed to give our critical responses.
Metacritic
Thumbs up.
assigned 73 out of 100 based on 47 critics. Generally favorable reviews. Cinema score in audiences was an A-, which is pretty notable.
Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times, 3.5 out of 4 stars, saying the film is a terrific thriller with action sequences that function as a kind of action poetry.
Action poetry. Wow.
Trade them off. Keep going.
Stephen Whitty of the Star Ledger said the eye candy from high-tech gadgets to gorgeous people
All right, calm
has only
down,
been
Stephen.
ratcheted up. Oh, he loved it.
He loves
Yeah.
Paula Patton.
And so has the excitement. He also gave the film 3.5 out of 4 stars. I'm surprised it wasn't 4. He seemed really excited
Yeah.
about all the pretty things.
Of all the pretty.
Wesley Morris of the Boston Globe also gave it 3 out of 4 stars, saying, in its way, the movie has old Hollywood elegance. The scope and the sets are vast, tall, cavernous, but Bird scales down for spatial intimacy.
That's a wonderful
which is
review.
What you were saying about that, the whole sequence. Yes,
Yeah.
the big stunt is him outside of the tallest building in the world, scaling it, and with no time having, like, my favorite part of that sequence is it's only half cut, and he has to literally
like,
create leverage
Yeah.
and push himself off of a half mile up in the sky to push through, and he's only got what, like 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
Like, but as that's going on, everything is breaking in the hotel room. Nothing is working, which is the theme of this entire movie. Technology fails you.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point.
Entire movie, everything keeps breaking.
Yeah.
I also that fight scene betwixt the two ladies, so good.
Not unlike my favorite acting choice of
Henry Cavill.
He's super handsome.
Henry Cavill.
His name is
James Marsden.
His name is Danny Ocean. George Clooney in From Dusk Till Dawn with the neck switch. Paula Patton getting the okay to go beat the shit out of Lea Seydoux and ripping her shoes off and she linebackers and just goes. It's so satisfying.
That's a pulse pounding beating.
But then also Josh Holloway for 2 seconds in this movie. Sawyer from Lost.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Him jumping off the top of the building backwards with the thing blowing up behind him. Such a good shot. There's so many great little one-offs. Yeah. It happens.
Philippa Hawker of the Sydney Morning Herald, 3 out of 5 stars. Ludicrously improbable, but also quite fun.
Hey.
That was her. That was me doing her voice.
Owen?
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly. Brims with scenes that are exciting and amazing at the same time. They're brought off with such casual aplomb. I like that word.
Casual aplomb.
Aplomb. That they're funny too. Ghost Protocol is fast and explosive, but it's also a supremely clever sleight of hand thriller. Brad Bird, showing an animator's miraculously precise use of visual space, has a playful, screw-tightening ingenuity all his own. Wow.
These are good.
It's a very, very, very well-crafted movie.
I need to read more reviews from these folks.
Yeah, right?
Those are delightful.
These are some
I
of my
really
favorite
want to read
reviews.
Steve Whitty. He was real thirsty for the gorgeous high tech, the eye candy, tech, and people.
Yeah. Oh, so let's talk about our thoughts now.
Okay.
This was not the first time you'd seen this movie, but this was the first time you have seen this movie.
It was.
What did you think? What were your thoughts? What are your feelings? Tell me.
I really, really liked it. I loved it. It was just pretty to look at, and like the action sequences, especially knowing that Tom Cruise does them himself.
What did you think about the gorgeous people?
Gorgeous people were gorgeous.
Oh, good. Okay,
Naturally.
Cool. Oof.
While I was watching this movie, I remembered what happens after part 3 in regards to his marriage.
That had me on the edge of my seat.
How are you doing with that? Like,
Oh
I didn't want to spoil anything, how it progresses or not.
Crazy.
Spoilers for a 15-year-old movie.
Reading spoilers now. So the reveal that, is it Brandt, Jeremy Renner's character?
Yeah.
Was on a mission in Croatia, and like it went wrong, and then you find out that it was like he was supposed to be keeping Ethan Hunt's wife safe, and then they found parts of her later, and I was like, oh, and Ethan is lying and saying that they separated from everybody. I was like, I gasped. And then at the end it's revealed that she isn't actually dead.
Yeah, I know.
They've done this to me twice.
Yeah.
They have hurt me and torn me apart and put me back together twice with the same goddamn character.
Fake killed her twice.
They fake fridged
I gotta
Michelle
tell you,
Monaghan.
So, favorite part of the third movie, and it was so emotionally resonant and very well done. Watching this in real time in the theaters, and they keep making allusions to, they're not together anymore. She left him, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then you find out the news story. I'm like, they killed her?
Yeah.
After everything we went through, they killed her?
Off screen? Those sons
to
of...
fridge her for character development of a character they just introduced?
Mm-hmm.
What the?
Yeah.
And then
It's
the
very
whole
similar.
thing at the end, I was like, yeah. Also, too, I didn't know that I didn't know he was going to reveal himself to her.
Yeah.
Like that was so sweet and so and like that was a good you never have to show up again. I appreciate it. This was a well wrap up without tying Ethan down to having to start a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
He's great. Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner was a really fun addition to the cast. This is that period of time when he's just like in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked he was like an analyst. And then he in the fight sequence, he looks at him and he's like, you're not just an analyst. Like you know what you're doing out here.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh,
yeah.
are you done?
No, I
Yeah.
loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thought this was really fun. It shies in comparison to part 3.
Shies?
Shies.
The delta is that big between your enjoyment of this one and the last one?
one?
Like Shies to me sounds like this much difference between the two, or is it lower than that? Like how
all right,
good?
keep going.
Wait.
Go. No, down. There. That's it. What's not Shy's? How's that? Pales?
So this is
it pales in
Pales
comparison.
is worse.
Oh, pales
in
and
comparison.
Shy's.
Shy's is like here. This is more like it has to exist in the shadow of how good the other one was, but still does a
That's
good
exactly what I said. Thank you for repeating me.
Well, shit, like, it cowers in the corner, shy from how good the other one was. It sounds like it's a weak movie.
Yeah. Number 3 was so good, and I had such an emotional response through so many different parts of part 3 that this one was like, oh, okay, that's a cool stunt, and that's cool stuff. Oh, that's a good fight. Oh, they did the thing. I like that. And the stuff with the wife was another one. You mother, I will. Oh no, we're good.
We're good?
Okay. What? Oh, we're good. Okay.
Kill her?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a perfectly cromulent mission. Is what I would say.
Mission did it.
Freeze frame that for the end of the show.
I'll get you one. Count me in.
3, 2.
Mission did it.
Oh, Alice, you're supposed to.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
Oh man, now I'm off my whatnots. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
We're forced.
Here's the thing, though. Moving forward with any of these missions, impossible. I am hesitant to think that any of them will blow me away more than Mission Impossible 3. I love Mission Impossible 1 on our rewatch. I was flabbergasted by how good it was. 2 is just a crazy bombast, but fun in its own right. And then 3 was just such an emotional experience. And that's really how I determine my rankings of movies, or my relationship to them is my emotional investment and what sort of anxiety ride they take me through. So this one, I think after the highs of 3, 4 was like, oh, okay, I kind of know where we're going. I know what we're settling in for. There's nothing they can do to me that 3 didn't already do to me. So
including kill his wife.
Including kill his wife twice. I think you will hold on to that opinion this entire time. Yeah. Because much like 1, 2, and 3, where, different directors, their own kind of visual style, they felt like different missions. 3 does kind of give you the emotional crescendo. I
like crescendo.
It's a lady da.
Yeah.
It's a
crescendo.
Feminine in language, like it's
You're making it for the male only podcast.
Yeah. I mean, in other languages, male, female.
Yeah,
it is.
What was I saying?
Where the hell you been, Loca?
Oh, God damn it. Hold on. Real quick aside for everyone who's wondering, yes, we spent a lot of time in the group thread after last episode wherein we discussed New Moon.
I discuss New Moon daily.
Same.
About
that was
the line.
Me as Brad Bird talking for Noel.
What's the quote?
Where the hell you been, Loca?
And we were trying to figure out, like, she's Native American, but like Loca.
I was trying to
like
ascertain
Mexican?
if it was just a teenager being awkward, or
that's what it
was this a weird
part of their tribal
misappropriation weirdness, or just like
I think it was just being awkward.
Yeah, I think it was just like an awkward.
No matter
teen.
what, it still fits with a dumb teen.
Yeah.
Whether it's edgelordy or awkwardness, either way,
it's super cute.
But it was just really funny and weird. Like, yes, it's like. Not only has that actor portrayed Hispanic and Indigenous, which he is neither of each.
He's neither.
What is he?
He's like, I mean, he has
shark.
Like distant.
He's shark.
He's part shark. His daughter is part lava. It's a thing. But it was just funny. Like having to break that
Nice
down.
callback.
Like he makes a thing with a thing, but he's neither of these things. The one is a reference. Like it was
Okay.
That line isn't in the book, by the way. It's just.
It's just him
it's
being
just something
cringe.
he says in the movie.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
so good.
As far as I know. Now I have to go read the book again.
I'm going to have this
one-
response to every movie moving forward.
Basically, because this one kind of settles into what the series becomes. This is kind of the tone of the rest of the series. They kind of become this style of movie where it is more about heist mission and a little less about, like, there are team dynamics, and like the central emotional theme of all of these movies going forward is the needs of the
Family?
basically. No, seriously, like it's his team is like he is willing to go against a government and lose a nuke for saving his team member.
Yeah.
So it does have those emotional threads, but it is not as high velocity,
Yeah.
increased emotion as the third one.
Yeah, I don't feel the tension of the possibility of loss anymore.
Fair.
You know, in the first movie, one of the on-screen deaths that have stuck with me the longest
The elevator,
is
right?
Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
That has stuck with me ever since I first saw it in the theater back in 96
Yes.
ish.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first
6, 8, 6.
yeah,
6.
the first movie and the third movie just have these deaths that like grab me. Gosh, I forget her name with the
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, Carrie Russell.
Harry Russell's death. Like that hit me.
Oh, that
emotion-
was crazy.
None of
God
the
damn it.
movies really reach like they have their own kind of like
96.
Thank you.
vibes
Oh, nice.
and high impact emotions, and are they going to pull this off? But
Yeah.
it's a little less losing loved ones and a little more keeping the team intact and
Yeah.
healthy.
Mm.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more Ocean's 11 sans the comedy, right?
Well, I mean, this movie's
Procedural.
pretty damn funny.
But it's not a comedy like Ocean's 11.
That's fair.
It's not an ensemble
Also,
comedy.
too, as we go forward, each one kind of has its own structure that's really interesting.
Mhm.
Like the fifth one, the big stunt. The movie starts with the big stunt,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then it phases from there in a very
Okay.
interesting way. You know, like I think you guys have seen just the posters of him hanging off of a jet or of a plane
Mm.
Yeah.
by hand.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. That's
He
5?
did that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you do that?
Yeah.
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 There's
I'd
a,
be so stressed out.
there's full behind the scenes features of like with goggles, without goggles. If a piece of dust at that velocity gets inside of his eye, he's gonna die. Kind of
Holy
stuff.
shit.
Pretty awesome.
Pigs
anyway.
in the chat saying, I live for this inside baseball and technical details. I had no idea about the IMAX changes.
Yeah, it's dope.
Fuck, this is making me want to actually watch this series.
Do it.
You should. Pink, get up to date with us. I think we're gonna do. I'll tell you the date that we're gonna do 5, and if you can get
Yeah.
up to date with us.
I mean, we're doing these so you guys can join us. Dane Z, do they ever explain what happened to Tandy Newton? I'm sorry, Tendawe's Newton's character from Mission Impossible 2?
Nope.
No.
Nah.
Nope.
Yeah.
She's you know what? She's living a good life in Australia,
Yeah.
Oh man.
unencumbered. No, don't even bother.
Okay. We got a spam comment.
You had to bother.
Sorry. Well, I had to explain why I stopped mid-sentence. They're used to
I'm
me.
just gonna stop mid-sentence.
We all stop and sentence all the time.
That's true.
I love this movie. I also I don't think we're giving enough credit to that fist fight at the end of the movie in the car park. It is
Oh
so
my
brutal and
God,
so
it
cool.
was so
Yeah.
It's so
cool.
wild.
Yeah.
The that's the kind of thing that just a 12-year-old with action figures on a, you know, trying to figure out like,
Yeah.
and he falls here and then he's almost crushed in here and then the car's going here and then he jumps.
Yeah,
Like,
the different
it is-
levels, the jumping, and then
Yeah.
he's under one of them as it's moving. He kicks him.
I
Yeah.
have seen this movie multiple times, and the other night when we were watching it, I was doing the I don't remember that one. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and just the dude like being so zealot, just
Mhm.
like fuck off, and like
Yeah. Bye.
That's the other thing. I think the villain in this, I don't care about at all.
Well,
He
it's-
does nothing for me.
He's just he's an
He's just-
avatar for a movement. He's
he's
not
a
an actual
baddie.
character.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
Philip
exactly.
Seymour Hoffman.
No.
No one is.
I mean, I think there is a villain later in the series that does
Oh.
get close to there. Not the same way, but in the
Alright.
same, oh shit, that's an actual threat.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm not going to talk about it because
Okay.
it would be a spoiler. So yeah, I think this movie is wonderful, but it does not necessarily meet the expectation of part 3.
Yeah.
So
Bless
we're
you,
gonna,
Dylan.
well, without any concerns or questions, we're gonna move on to ratings.
Yeah.
Our thoughts. We all
Ratings.
generally like this movie.
Yeah.
So do you need reminders of your ratings from the last? one?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay.
I went brown fast.
It's been an hour and a half.
Apple from an hour and a half.
Oh, I'm brown. In this room temperature, open air space.
It's juicy.
Yeah.
I like how you're recovering from just being
I pick
sick.
good ones.
And you're like, I'm gonna have this half-eaten floor apple now.
Who
An hour and
needs
a half ago.
who needs vaccinations? I eat floor food. Don't choke, because that's a whole nother fucking problem. Oh, did you
still
read the
delicious.
book again?
I did. I read the book again. No, I'm crying. No, you put on the Iron Giant, and it's making me cry.
It has been playing this whole time. We're that good, guys.
Time, and it's technically sad.
So, Alice, your ratings for Mission Impossible 1 was 3.5.
Oh, thank you.
For Mission Impossible 2, 2. This is out of 5, by the way. Out of 5 lit fuses. And for Mission Impossible 3, or M:I:3, you rated it 4 fuses.
Okay.
We'll do them all before you tell me. JD, Mission Impossible 1, 3.25.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 2, 2.25.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible 3, 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, MI1, 3.5. MI2, 2.84.
I forgot you were so precise.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 3, 4.25. With that, the average rating of each one: Mission Impossible 1 across the three of us, 3.42. Mission Impossible 2, 2.36, and MI3, 4.25. An average of 4.25. I think that obviously that has been our favorite thus far. So who wants to go first?
You.
Me.
Do it.
What is your rating for Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
I'm gonna do a precise one like you. 3.85. I do like 3 a little bit better, but this is very close.
3.2, 2.5, 4.5.
Okay.
3.85. Any notes you want to put on top of that? Why you chose 3.85?
It's so good. It's definitely one of my favorites of the Mission Impossible series. They're this close, but I love Philip Seymour Hoffman in that cold open in MI3.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah. It still had the emotion for me there when it's like, oh, his wife did die and I was responsible for it. I was like, oh my God, again?
Yeah.
Like, why does it keep happening?
I keep falling for her.
What about you? Again?
Like, listen, I don't have a brain. 3, 2, mine is 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow. Lower than 1, huh?
Lower than 1.
Ooh.
I think one set the standard for just a really cool action movie directed in a very interesting way. So this isn't quite any of that for me. So it's less than 1, more than 2,
Good.
way less than 3.
Wow.
How about that? How about them apple? How about them floor apples?
That floor apple.
I think by the metrics you're being overly reactive, personally.
I can be.
Yeah, I know.
What is your rating?
I'm gonna go 4. 4. Because 4.25 Mission Impossible 3, and I think that this is only marginally less.
Okay.
Because
I think you're being a little reactive about this.
No, I'm actually being quite measured in response to all of the other ratings that I've given thus far.
I think I'm right.
I didn't think that, I thought that I do think that this is a technically more proficient and more enjoyable movie than the first one. Even though the first one gets a little bit of extra credit for just being the first one.
Yeah.
Technically proficient out the wazoo. Yes. But that does not trigger my emotional response.
Oh, I mean, it triggered my emotional response with all the
she kicked her out a window.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was real.
And they're like, we were supposed to keep her alive. Oh.
I did like also too the sequence of like, just jump.
Yeah.
I'll catch you.
Yep, it's fine.
Yeah. I'll catch you with magnets. Like, yeah, I'll catch you.
I got you.
I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.
You didn't even talk about the sandstorm.
Oh, it was a wonderful sequence.
Sorry.
Nice.
Thank you, Dylan.
There's like 4 or 5 giant action sequences in the movie. We can talk about each one. That was done mostly green screens and stuff. Yeah, obviously.
I liked the sandstorm. 3. You could see it like you knew it was coming for a while, but you also knew there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all the warning we can get, but it's gonna still be bad.
It is a giant theme of this movie that everything breaks.
Yeah.
Like
that is really fun.
From the jump, like the cameras or the doors aren't opening when he wants them to.
Yeah.
The phone booth won't explode when it's supposed to, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
I thought that was all wonderful. Like it's a way to scale back from the high tech craziness of the third one.
Yeah.
And the movies will continue.
What happens when all the things that you're relying on can't be relied on? That's very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So if I'm doing
making it sound like I don't like the movie.
Well, you're making it sound like you don't like.
I
the movie.
enjoyed the movie. Brad Bird.
I mean, that's 3 out of 5 is middle.
It's an enjoyed movie.
Like average, mid. It's literally mid. It's literally the middle.
Well, 2.5 would be mid.
No, 2.5 would be unfavorable.
Out of 5?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, it would be the middle. Sure,
Yeah.
this is marginally favorable.
I favor it marginally.
Yeah, you're gonna hate the rest. All right, let's do some quick math. 3.85 plus 3 plus 4 equals divided by 3.
I can't believe there's more than the
This
GIF.
is a 3.62 average rating between the two of us.
3.
3 of us. It was just me and you. I don't really count him.
Does not like when I have opinions.
Eat your apple. Just enjoy your apple, little guy. No, I'm surprised. I genuinely thought you would at least like at the same level as MI1.
Yeah.
Because I know 2 is like down, 3 is whoa.
Yeah.
And then I thought this
We
would
like
be
level off right
I think
in
this
the-
would be like this would be the safe floating waiting zone of like
Yeah.
3.25. I was genuinely surprised by 3. And I think you're wrong.
So I'm just down by 0.25 is
I think
what
it would
I've
be
decided. right?
uneven, if not marginally better than your experience with 1.
Yeah, great.
Because I think it's a very strong movie.
Wonderful.
Which is my subjective opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're stupid. I think we did it.
Did we?
I think we did it.
Dylan, did we
Mission
do it?
did it.
You done did
Mission did it.
We mission. So
Mission did it.